Okay, so about 35% of you that watch these videos are subscribed to the channel. So 35% of you understand that Bitcoin needs to lead the way for us to get an alt season. Ethereum is the second biggest market cap leader. Ethereum is the one that's being shorted by institutions. Ethereum is the one that's hit a base, and Ethereum needs to outperform Bitcoin. We're going to look at the charts, guys, and see exactly how Ethereum's performing, what Ethereum needs to do next, how it is performing against its Bitcoin pair, which is the most important thing, guys, because that's going to indicate to us when alt season 2025 is. So we've got lots to talk about today, guys. Hopefully by the end of the video, you'll understand a lot more about how the cycle works, what we need to happen next. And if you do find it useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And this is the Ethereum chart trading against USDT. This is the daily, and I want to do something a little bit differently today, guys, because trading is difficult to look at a chart and to help identify and understand whether there's a setup and whether that setup's good, whether it's a high probability move, how much you can risk, how much reward that you get. All of these things, guys, you need to understand before you start opening the door to trading. And you know what? You can actually do the trades. You can backtest the trades. You can use demo accounts and you can do things to prepare yourself for whatever strategy it is that you use to help identify how much profit that you can make with a high degree of probability by using those back tests. So a little bit about me, guys, as far as my self-development journey is concerned. I started off trading late 2020. I used course after course after course, guys, until one course stuck. The course that stuck wasn't even crypto, guys. It was Forex. The guy that was teaching me was a Forex trader. The guy that was teaching me hated crypto. However, guys, technical analysis is technical analysis. And there's a lot of YouTubers out there that'll just put moving averages on there. They've got these magic systems that they'll charge you for. Guys, there is no magic system. You think of millions of different pairs across millions, not just in crypto, within traditional markets, commodities, stocks, whatever. You think of all them pairs and you think of one strategy. You think of that one strategy on all of the different time frames across all of the different pairs, millions and millions and millions of pairs. Do you think there's a magic strategy that's going to work on all of them? This is the reason why you need to understand and you need to self-develop yourself. You need to find out what time frame works for you and you need to stick with that time frame. You need to find a strategy that's step by step. If this happens, then that happens. Go back and watch the bullseye strategy, guys. I've got a playlist. It's got a bullseye strategy. It's got 7 steps built in. First one's got to happen. Once the first one happens, the second one's got to happen. The second one happens, the third one's got to happen. That is a structure, guys, that you can use and you can back test, get a high degree of probability whether that thing is going to work on your time frame, on your pair, and then have a greater understanding whether that's going to be successful, what the probabilities are, what the percentages gains are, all of these different things you can get without actually putting any money on the table. Right, okay, let's get to Ethereum, guys. That was just one massive rant, but one thing that I'm here for is to help you understand risk management, portfolio diversification, and help you develop yourself, guys. So if you've got TradingView, get your chart up. If you haven't got TradingView, go and sign up to the free version. Do not pay for it, the version. Do not pay for any paid plans. Go and sign up to the free version. That's all you need, guys. And I'm not affiliated with them. If you don't like TradingView, use a different platform, but get something to help you understand and identify what levels are oversold, what levels are overbought, where you expect resistance, where you expect support, guys. It is an important thing. So Ethereum, it needs to lead the way, guys. Ethereum's the second biggest market cap leader to Bitcoin. Once Ethereum starts putting progress in and Ethereum starts making 10%, 20%, 30% gains, those 10, 20%, 30% are bigger gains as far as market cap's concerned compared to all of the other altcoins because it is the second biggest market cap. So first thing we're doing, we're adding in a trend line. Trend line. This is the bull market high for Ethereum. And then we're going to stick in our trend line. Now, you need to remember, the more touches, the more touches, the more touches, the better the trend line. You can see there's 3 touches, 4 touches here. If we use this, there's 2 touches. So we're going to be using that. There's 4 touches. The more touches, the more sticking points. So we've got a trend line on the bottom here, guys. We're going to do exactly the same thing here. Why did we do that? Because this is the trend. This is the trend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what was respected. That dropped. Once the trend dropped, what happened? This acted as resistance. So this is going to be a resistance point, and that's what we're going to be talking about very shortly. So we're going to build in analysis, and we're going to build in weight on top of our thesis. And the next thing we're going to use is a fixed range volume profile, because I need to know exactly where the biggest amount of volume is, where the most buy orders and sell orders are, and where the biggest support or resistance is going to be within this area. So I've took the top of this range all the way down, including the bottom wick here, and you could see this is the biggest area. We got a bounce from there, and we got a big bounce from there. Now you can see one thing here. There's the big volume. There's the amount, the most traded volume within this whole area. You can see what happened. Resistance, resistance. This is volume. These are sell levels. This is volume. This is volume. This is volume. You can see it's getting less and less as we move up. So we're at one major sticking point on Ethereum now. What we're going to do is going to bring in our moving averages. Remember, you're above the 200 moving average, you're bullish. You're below the 200 moving average, you're bearish. The 200 moving average, whether it's the daily, whether it's the 4 hour, you get reactions time and time again. So let's just look at an example. You can see here, you've got a reaction, got a bounce, got a bounce, and then it fell through. That was resistance, broke through, support. So where are we now? If you just zoom in a bit, we're there. We're at resistance. We've tried once, we've tried twice, we've double topped. We're creating one thing here, creating a bull flag or a bull pennant. So we're creating a bull pennant. That is a good thing. The next thing that we're going to do is bring up the indicators. Are we overbought? Are we oversold? This, oversold. What happened last time we were oversold? That was down here. What about the next time? Not quite oversold. Down here, you got a bounce. You got a reaction from the 50. You got a reaction from the 20. So you can see these things, these tools act as support, they act as resistance. And when you add them together, it carries weight behind the probabilities. So we know that the 50, we know that the 20, that acted as support. We know we're oversold. We're in a bull pennant. What is a bull pennant? There's the big move. Expect resistance. Where do you expect resistance? We've added the 200 moving average. So a pullback, a second turn, pullback. Now, what's happening in this pattern, guys, is the bulls are trying to regain control by cooling off, letting the bears have a little bit of a turn. Got the sell orders here. Some of the bulls from this move here have took profits here, waiting for the pullback at the bottom here to add to their position. So you've got the bears, which are pushing down from this level that have got their sell orders. You've got the bulls that are taking profits. That's more sell orders and more sell orders. So they need momentum to come back down. They need the stochastic to come back down. That's overbought. They need it to be oversold. Now it's oversold. We've got enough momentum to push through. Once we push through, 200 period moving average, Ethereum, as long as it holds it, will turn bullish and we'll start really outperforming Bitcoin. And that's the aim of the game, guys, for Ethereum to outperform Bitcoin. So the next thing that I'm going to do, guys, get rid of this. Next thing that I'm going to do, it's a little trick. So you zoom out, we're on the daily, you zoom out onto the weekly. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add in a line chart. So you go on here, guys, you've got candles there, you've got Heiken-Ashi there. If you just click in, line chart. Now what we're doing, joining the dots, guys, we're going to join the dots. So we're looking for the biggest area of support and resistance. Remember, the most touches, the more chance that you've got of that acting as support if you're above it and resistance if you're below it. So there's one. You've got one touch, you've got two touch. You've got nearly a rejection here. You've got touch, touch, touch. And you've got another touch here. So that is going to be a strong point, and that is where price is testing now. It is resistance, and the bulls are trying to regain control. Next one's up here, guys. You've got one touch, two touch, three touches of rejection, four touch, and you can see how price is respecting this. When we're on the weekly, guys, you zoom out, the higher the time frame, the higher the conviction. That's why we zoomed out on the weekly. Then you've got this one up here. This is the big one. 1, 2, nearly 3, 4. We can probably bring that down a bit. That's going to be a big resistance point. Right, okay, so we've got that. Zoom back into the daily and then back onto the candle chart. And we know exactly what we need to do in the short term. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to measure projections from this. So we're going to use our Fibonacci retracement, and we're going to go from this swing high again. We're going to go all the way down to the bear market low down here. So all the way to the bear market low. And what we're looking for is we're looking for extensions, and we're looking for extensions for the 1272 and the 1618. So we've got our first one up here, which is 5,936, and that's the conservative 1272. Once you break the previous all-time high, 1272 is going to be an easy target. The 1618 is set all the way up here, $7,301. So that's given us a couple of projections. Now, what's the chances of this happening? We're going to look next at Ethereum against its Bitcoin pair, because remember, Bitcoin leads the way. Bitcoin leads the way. And once Ethereum starts outperforming Bitcoin, we get Ethereum season. When Ethereum starts outperforming Bitcoin, we get an alt season. Within Ethereum season, you'll get a breakout of total 3. That's what we're actually waiting for. So you can see here, this down here is where Ethereum started outperforming. You had your 2021 alt season in here, guys. Then you had the bear market, the long grind, the crypto winter, all the way down here. So what's that? So you had the crypto winter all the way down here, and this is what we're waiting for, guys. We're waiting for the next ETH season. And if we just zoom in a little bit, we can see that Ethereum is starting to outperform Bitcoin. It's got upside pressure against it. We've taken out, this is a descending channel, this is a bearish move. When you break out of that, expect resistance at this level here, guys. That is the start of this previous move to the downside. So we expected resistance there. We've got a pullback there, and exactly the same thing's happening. It's waiting for momentum. It's waiting for the indicators to come back down into oversold, which they are now. So it's got enough chance to push up. So as long as you come in into a higher low, as long as you're coming into a higher low, guys, you're putting in a higher low, when it becomes oversold, that's bullish and you expect a continuation to the upside. So that's the continuation to the upside, and I'm expecting a reaction here. 0.0284 Satoshis. That's going to be the 200 daily moving average. Then once you get a pullback from there, you get enough momentum, you start creating the flag, guys, let the bulls get enough momentum, create the flag, wait for the indicator to pull back into oversold, putting in a higher low, and then you're going to have enough strength to break through the 200 daily moving average. Once you break through that, bam, bam, that's going to be Ethereum season. On the back of that, guys, Bitcoin dominance, that is going to drop. On the back of that, total 3, that's going to put in a new all-time high. The back of that, USDT dominance is going to drop. The back of that, the Dixie is going to drop. So all the stars are aligning, guys. Everything's looking good. All eyes on Ethereum. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you want more like this, let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.